G'day fellas, welcome back to another video where we're going to be taking a look at Ethiopia and the big question that's been on everybody's mind. How can I get influence? And that's a great question. So, the first way that you're going to be able to get influence is through these bad boys right here. Zebu cattle. Alright, so Zebu cattle, when they're fully fattened, they give you half an influence tick every second. But every single time, or every single second that they're not fully fattened, they give you 0.15. So even if this bad boy right here gets up to 499, he's actually not going to give you the full amount of influence. He's only going to give you 0.15. It's only when it gets fully fattened that you're actually going to be able to get that all-important influence. Now, there's other ways that you can gain influence as well. So the next way that we're going to be talking about is the monastery. So the mountain monastery you can be placing on coin mines. Now, this coin mine here is in my base, so it's a nice safe coin mine. If I put it out over on this coin mine over here, it's kind of in the middle of both me and my opponent. Now, one of the things to note with the mountain monastery is that if I put that down on that coin mine, my opponent can't actually mine that at all. It's like, it's off limits. It won't let them mine from this coin mine full stop. So that's one thing to note. So now we've aged up to the next age, and we've got access to some new shipments that we can send from the home city. So the home city also has a number of different ways to give you influence. But before we take a look at that, we're going to take a look at the mountain monasteries and exactly the way that they work. So there's a build limit of 2 of these in age 1. In age 2, you've got a build limit of 3, so we can go and drop down a third one over here. And I think that continues going up by 1 every age, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that just yet. You can hear that lovely sound of when it goes up. Now, these guys, they gather, as a default, 75% coin, 25% influence. But you can change that if you want, say, if you want 20% coin, if you want 100% coin, you can have 100% coin. But if you want 50% coin and 50% influence, then you can do that. But there's no 100% influence option for this. So this is the best split you're going to get. Now, when it comes to what these mountain monasteries do, you might be like, okay, well, I can put the mountain monastery on the coin mine, but you know, my opponent can't access it. Can my villagers access it? Yes, they can. And they're going to be generating at whatever rate you've got the rate generated at on your mountain monastery. So if you've got 100% coin, it will give you 100% coin with each villager. If you've got it split on 50-50, it will do the same. Now, here's the cool part, right? So let's say it's in the early game, you're wanting to boom. And unfortunately for you, you've only got 1 town center, so there's no real way for you to get, you know, any more villagers super duper quickly. What you can actually do is get these bad boys right here, abuns. I think that's how you pronounce it, because these guys can actually work at the mountain monasteries just like a villager can, and you can batch train them instead of waiting 1 by 1. And so that's exactly what we're going to do here. So you can see that you can have up to 20 gatherers, which are going to be which can gather here, but we're only going to have 5 for now. And so with the mountain monastery, so it's going to start with 5, but there's actually an upgrade that you can get down here, the Book of Axum, which increases the Abon healing range and the build limit by 5, which means you can get another 5 settlers. Now, these are expensive. Now, you would have heard that sound. I didn't train a fishing boat. I think that might be a placeholder. It's the sound for when Abons get created. By the same token, if it gets deleted, it sounds like a fishing boat. So that's something to keep in mind. So with the Abons, you can have these gathering in the exact same way that you can have them gathering, villagers gathering. Now, these guys can't eat zebu cattle, they can't gather berries, they can't chop trees, but they can gather coin, okay? And you can have up to 10 of them, and you can batch train them. So it's really something to elevate your early game and bring it along, because one of the difficult things that you'll have is trouble keeping with civs like the British or the Dutch. They've got a big booming economy. Well, this is a way that you are able to try and keep up with it. But keep in mind, aboons are expensive. 150 coin is nothing to sniff at. That is a very expensive amount, especially if you're training 5. That's 750 coin. So that's a lot to pay for 5 villagers. But keep in mind, they do actually gather slightly faster than a villager. They gather about 1.2 times the speed of a villager normal at the normal speed. Now, keep in mind, they also, as a backup, can be used as healers. If you ever need to heal up some units, let's say you've got a Mameluke or something, you can just pull one off and you can just task him to heal. Now, he can also build mountain monasteries, which is great because there's an age 1 card. I don't actually have it in my deck, but it's 2 villagers and 1 Abon. and you can use that Abun to go and build a mountain monastery. So if you're very sneaky, you can go off to the north of the map right here and just very quietly drop off a mountain monastery and just start training Abuns on it. And your opponent won't know. They'll be looking at your base. They'll be saying, where are all those Abuns? And they won't know. But the truth is you've got them up here hiding away. So if we take a look, you can see that we've got in quite an income going at the moment. Very, very decent when it is... it is a very, very decent income rate, considering, you know, these are just in addition to your villages. So that's the second way that you're going to be able to gather additional influence. So the third way is from the home city. I touched on this a little bit earlier. So if we take a look at the home city, there's a number of different ways that you can get your tokens. So they're called tokens of influence. And the best way, in my opinion, is this card right here. Jesuit Influence. It's an Age 1 card and gives you 200 influence with all of your future shipments, starting with this one. And it comes in very quickly. So you can see how fast that's coming in right there. So you can send it at a moment's notice. Let's say you need to send something in. It's just like Spanish gold, except for influence. And instead of giving you 400 coin in Age 3, it gives you 200 tokens in Age 1. So really important to get this on the board as quickly as possible, because that's 200 every single shipment for the rest of the game. 200 tokens that's going to drop in. So it sends you 200 and then gives you the 200 as well. So you get 400 tokens with the first shipment. So that's the next way that you can get influence. You can also ship influence just the exact same way that you would another shipment. So 700 wood, 700 coin. It's going to take you a long time to do that, okay? It's going to be the standard 40 seconds that you have to wait for everything else. And that is, you know, I'm not sure if... I don't really use these, with the exception of the 1000 influence card for Age 3. I think it's actually quite decent there. But there's other mechanics as well that we can take a look at. So the next one is this bad boy right here. So it's the Lalibela Rock Church. So it ships one mountain monastery builder, and mines within mountain monasteries last much longer. Now, it says much longer, but the truth is it's not that much longer. It's only 25%. If this was 50% or even 100%, then I'd be saying, yeah, that's pretty decent. But it's actually not that good in my opinion. But I think it does actually increase the build rate for mountain monasteries. And you can use mountain monasteries in different build orders and combine them with things like the Portuguese age up. So for anybody wondering, the Portuguese age up right here. So it unlocks unique Portuguese improvements at your mountain monasteries. And one of those improvements gives you an organ gun for every mountain monastery you've got. So if you've got 6 mountain monasteries, you get 6 organ guns. And the best part is, those guys shadow tech. So if it's late game and you're in Imperial Age, that's 6 Imperial Rebuilds that you've got. So a really, really cool thing to note and be aware of. So now sending in that mountain monastery, it looks like it doesn't actually increase the build limit of the mountain monasteries. So that's something to be aware of. So if you are on max mountain monasteries, be aware that you're not going to be able to do that. Now, one other thing to be aware of is when you age up, every single age, you're going to be getting a mountain monastery builder for free. So if you go back and watch this video, you will see where this guy came from. He actually came from my age up. And by the same token, if we go and age up right now, we age up with anything. Let's say we age up with the Indians. Hold on. So that's going to give us an Indian market builder, tokens of 500 influence. So it's going to take a while for us to get there. So we might actually speed it up using Kebra Nagast, which is the next alliance you research or are researching, will age up 50 seconds faster. But keep in mind, it costs tokens. Now, my tokens are really high. Don't look down here and be like, oh, that's so many tokens. This is a 10-minute game. And I've been using cheats. So don't think like, oh, that's so many tokens. It's not really that crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Kebra Nagast. And we're going to send that in. I'm going to delete all these. And you're going to see these, everything pop in. And so you're going to spot, there's going to be an Indian wagon, Indian market wagon. And there's also going to be that mountain monastery. So you're going to be getting that with every age up, age 1 to age 2, age 2 to age 3. You're going to be getting that. So that's one way that's going to trickle for you as well. The next ways that you've got are things like this shipment here, which ships 200 influence per current mountain monastery. So once again, here you go, the mountain monastery builder. So we've aged up to the new age. So we can build 3 out of 4. Now, you don't have to build these bad boys on coin mines. You can actually just build them anywhere. If you just want to build them over here, you can just build them there. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Some people, I mean, that's probably how they get their rocks off. Me, I'm more of like I'm a coin mine kind of guy. So I think that it's just going to be like one of those things. I'm just going to put it on some coin mines. But we'll put this one over here. And so now we're in the third age. We've got our new unlocks from the mountain monastery. And we can take a look. So here's the Giez script. So ships 200 influence per current mountain monastery. In age 3, that's 600 influence. You're just better off sending 700 influence, the shipment. If you're in age 4, well, if you're in age 2, you're better off sending 700 influence. If you're in age 3, you're better off sending 1,000 influence. I'm still not sure exactly where this works out to be, actually decent. The next cards that we've got, so we've got this one right here, Indian spice trade. So this is a big thing I didn't actually talk about yet. Your trade routes can give influence. So you might be wondering, oh gosh, what's going on right there? You might be wondering what's the point in putting it on a coin mine. So the reason why is because when you put it on a coin mine, it's actually going to begin trickling resources for you, including influence. Whereas if you don't put it on a coin mine, it's just going to be sitting here. I'm curious actually, if I just put these guys over onto this one, is that just going to trickle 100% influence? Hold on a minute. Oh, no, never mind. They can't even gather from it. It's literally pointless. I think it would just be like maybe if there were no coin mines left on the map and you needed to place it down. Wait. Now my Abbins can't. Oh, did it? I think it ran out of coin. Oh, it ran out of coin. Okay. I'm sitting here wondering like, oh my god, why aren't they doing anything? It's because it ran out of coin. So the next way that you can get influence is from your trading post. So you can see here that we've got influence as an option at the trading post. I'm going to move all my Abbins over to the next one to begin mining that boy out. So with this, you can also, so sending this kind of makes it like the Silk Road. Trade routes supply more resources and native settlements trickle more influence. So with the native settlements trickling more influence, so your trading posts at native settlements will actually give you more will give you a trickle of influence. So they're not just sitting there by itself. So we'll upgrade that trade route now. We're going to make sure that we get the caravan trade. Oh, we need to go to age 4 just to get the final upgrade. You guys are going to love it. You guys are going to love it. Oh, it's going to be so... Oh my gosh, you guys are going to love it. All right, so with this one, so we're sending in this shipment here. So one of the other things to note is it also... It's got tokens of influence inventory by 30%. So I'm just pausing the game right now. So if you take a look down on, it's like the 5th line, tokens of influence inventory 30%. So if you have a look at my inventory right now, I've got 18,000 tokens. When this comes in, it should increase by 30%, at least if I'm reading that correctly. Let's watch and see what happens. It didn't happen. So who knows exactly what that does? Tokens of influence inventory up by 30%. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it increases the gather rate or something like that. I'm not too sure. But you can see that the influence here that's being generated from this trading post. Now, I'm not going to even look at those technologies. I'm not going to look at those units because that's going to be a whole nother video on itself. But you can see that there are 5 technologies there. It's exciting stuff. All right. I'll give you a sneak peek. I'll give you a sneak peek. Okay, let's have a look. So this is for... Oh my god. The Yoruba. Now, these guys, in my opinion, are actually one of the best new natives. All right. First one. Ships to outpost wagons. Now, keep in mind, okay, you're using influence here. All short duration units keep 25% of their hit points and lose hit points at a slower rate. That's not that cool. What about this one? All villagers gather wood faster. All native and civilian units heal slowly when close to trees or berry bushes. That's not too bad. That's pretty cool. Let's check out this one here. Each Yoruba native unit spawns a clone of itself. Hello? Hello? What do we got going on there? Each Yoruba native unit spawns a clone of itself? So you're telling me I can make 6 of these bad boys right here and it's going to make a clone of itself? Every single one is going to clone itself. And then the final tech. Yoruba legendaries inflict poison damage when attacking in melee. So there you go. Now keep in mind, when it comes to the Yoruba, I think they spawn, there's multiple spawns for them on maps. Okay, it looks like there's 2 Yakan spawns, or Akan spawns, and 1 Yoruba. You can see that the trade route has now been upgraded, so we've got that stagecoach in. If we have a look, you can see it's got double camels, and aren't those camels awesome? Don't they look just absolutely great going through those giraffes now down here to the south? Here they come any second. There they go. So very, very cool looking camels. So we're going to make sure we get that next upgrade. So we've got the champion Yoruba SO riders. So I'm just going to show you. These guys have got amazing stats. Yes, these guys have got amazing stats. 60% range resist, 60% melee resist. But this is another video. And yeah, they've got incredible stats. But then you can just research this. Yoruba twins, and it's going to double them. It's going to double them. So they've got 56 hand attack, 1.5 multiplier against infantry, 320 HP, which is actually like 700 HP because of the 60% multiplier. And on top of that, it doubles them. It doubles them. So there's a lot going for this tribe. It's definitely one of my favorite ones. It's wait for all of it to produce, cancel it. It's not super duper crazy, and I don't really want to wait that long. But while in the meantime, look at that bad boy right there running past us. Isn't he just absolutely awesome? And there you go. We missed it, but they just popped out. You've got this is the doubling right here. The Yoruba SO riders have now doubled, and so now you've got 12 of them. And now keep in mind the build limit for these guys is very small. But anyway, this is part of the reason why it's so important to be keeping or to be generating heaps and heaps of this influence currency, because this right here is how you're actually buying these units. You're buying these units with influence. So really, really important for you to be trying to generate this as much as possible. That's another way that you can do it with trading posts like that. You can also have them generated through these trading posts here as well. And then, of course, in the home city, we take a look at the last way to do it. So charity. When this shipment arrives, all of your current food is exchanged for a smaller sum of influence. So we're going to send that. We've got 6,000 food right now. So if you're playing Treaty, perhaps, it's a way that you can utilize that and potentially get a very large bonus of... let's get that villager out of there. Let's just delete that so he stops attacking us. That makes it much easier. Or we can just go deal with him over here with the champion Yoruba. And so with this, the big thing to note is that it's going to be a lower amount. So we see 6,200. I've got about 20,000. It's going to pop in. Let's have a look and see what it converts it over to. So it is 22,900. So it looks about 3,000. So it looks about 50% is what it did. So it's about a 50% conversion from your food over to your influence. So that's the final way that you can get it. Now, there might be other ways that I've missed it, that I've missed out. So apologies if I have. There's a couple more things that you can spend with your influence. So I'll show you guys just quickly exactly what it is we're talking about. I don't actually have any food to make a villager, to make a house. That is an awkward moment. So we're just going to get some houses down. And I'll show you guys some very quick shipments right here. So we'll just delete those. We'll delete those. Get those out of the way. All right, so let's take a look at the shipments. So you can send in Gatling camels. There they are. Aren't they beautiful? You can send in Askari. These guys right here. Askaris. Take a look at the stats on those. Next units that you can send in. So we've already talked about them. You can send in those cannoneers. So these are the cannoneers right here. So basically, Abus guns. Next unit that you can send in, Mamelukes. Or they're not Mamelukes per se. They're like Mamelukes that are good against artillery. So they've got 20% range resist and 40% siege. And of course, someone in chat is asking, what is Royal Banquet? That is a great question, and let me tell you, because that's the final way that you can actually get influence, and I'm glad you reminded me. So Royal Banquet is where you trade in all of your livestock, all the fattened ones, all the skinny ones, and you get yourself a whole bunch of influence in return. So here we go. So I hit this button right here, and it's going to give me 2250 influence down in the bottom left-hand corner. So a very significant amount of influence there as well. And then from there, we can also do, what have we got? So Jesuit allies, so these are just your Dragoon units, very, very strong units. And then we've also got here the Sudanese Dervish that you can send in. So you can send in a whole bunch of stuff with these guys as well. And then the Somali Issas from the home city. So a whole bunch of stuff that you can just keep sending in with these units. So very important that you're looking after this resource. Influence is a very important resource. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope that I haven't missed out too many things. If you think that I have, make sure you leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.